Welcome to Calling All Brides podcast. I'm your host, Joe Cirillo, with over 20 years experience in the wedding industry, from an owner of a wedding event rental company to a DJ and to a wedding videographer.
And I'm your host, DJ Michael Joye. I have, check this out, 30 years of being a DJ. Trust me, there's nothing I haven't seen or heard at a wedding.
All right, well, welcome into the Calling All Brides podcast. I'm your host, Joe Cirillo, and DJ Michael will be back with us soon. So I hope you are having a great day today. I want to take a moment to say thank you for listening. We appreciate you. We appreciate your continued support of the podcast, and we've got a lot coming up. So make sure that you stay tuned each week, each Tuesday, new episode. Make sure that you subscribe to us, that you like us on all the different platforms, including YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, and of course you can also visit our website at thecallingallbridespodcast.com as well. Shoot us an email if you got a show idea. We'd love to chat with you and bring you some more good content. So let's jump into today's episode. It is wedding trends for 2024. So, it's crazy to think that we're only a few months away from 2024 when this episode comes out. Today is it's October 3rd, and it's crazy. Fall just started. Hopefully where you're at, hopefully the weather's gotten a little bit cooler. Maybe you're enjoying a little pumpkin spice drink if that's your thing. Maybe you're wearing a sweatshirt, jeans kind of weather. College football's in full effect now. Bonfires, all the traditional fall weather type of things. With it being fall, I think it's appropriate to kind of get prepared for 2024, only being a few months away. So, it's time to look at trends. What's going to be big in 2024? And you might wonder kind of how do we come up with these trends? And so, the first way is really to look at the search results on Google. On the internet, what's going on? What are couples searching for out there? That's going to be a big indicator of the trends and what you're going to see, as you see the search results. The other thing that we look at is what's popular on social media. What's trending on social media, because that's going to be important as well. Obviously, people are on social media every single day, flipping through Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all those different popular social media platforms. So people see that every day, and that's going to continue to shape the trends for 2024 as well. All right, so let's jump into our list. So our first trend for 2024 is film wedding photography. So you might be wondering, what am I talking about when I say film wedding photography? Yes, I'm talking about the old school type of film that used to go in cameras, and using a camera that actually uses film. Film wedding photography is having its moment, and it's kind of easy to see why. It's nostalgic. In a time where everything right now is instantly available in digital format. The anticipation of film wedding photography is a huge appeal. Searches on the web for film wedding photography have increased by 266% this year, marking it as a clear growing trend for weddings in 2024 and beyond. Film wedding photography is going back to the point where you have point and shoot kind of cameras. You receive your wedding photos back on film instead of just digital. You can also have your photographer scan them, so that way you can both get digital and film. But yeah, you're going to go back to having those film wedding photos, the kind of grainy, kind of real look. It's just very interesting, but it's really cool, I think. I love nothing more than, personally, going back through film photos with my children, with my family, friends. I kind of have like a shoebox full of those Polaroids and regular film like Kodak and all that, those kind of old school, photos, and just being able to, physically touch them and flip through them, pass them around. Honestly, I don't think there's anything like that, so I can really see why this trend is definitely making a comeback. You might want to do a search for film wedding photography if you're looking for a photographer that does that kind of style, goes back and uses those old school kind of cameras as opposed to the new higher tech ones. So check it out, film wedding photography, a trend for 2024. All right, number 2, personalized wedding ceremony. So instead of a traditional wedding ceremony, with pastor, with an officiant, we're seeing more of a crafted ceremony to be, a precise reflection of the couple themselves, containing their values, their passions, their joys, their unique love. So using loved ones, family members, friends, of course legally, that can actually legally get you married in your state. To perform the ceremony, but adding this special touch. And I can tell you from the weddings that I have recently attended, I attended one last Wednesday in Fripp Island, kind of a destination wedding location in South Carolina. And it was a personal close friend. Actually, I believe it was a former co-worker of the couple. And I'm just going to tell you guys, it was special because that person that was presiding over the wedding knew them personally and could share stories that were very emotional. They were connecting, as opposed to maybe just an officiant that you just picked, that you don't really know, that don't really know you. So I've seen a lot of these weddings recently. I did another wedding a couple weekends ago where one of their coworkers, they were in law enforcement. Their coworker was also in law enforcement, and did the ceremony. Had worked with both of them for many years. So again, had that personal touch, had stories, connected with them, and you could see all that come through. So definitely a trend that I see for sure. Is this more personalized wedding ceremony, especially the vows too, reading and coming up with your own vows, kind of coming up with the ceremony, the itinerary of the ceremony itself, kind of the, what the ceremony is going to look like, incorporating, whether it's incorporating, other family members and friends, animals, might be a fur baby, something like that, but just very personalized wedding ceremony. So definitely I think what you're going to see more of in 2024 is personalized wedding ceremonies. All right, number 3, wedding weekends. So what am I talking about? What's better than your wedding day? A whole wedding weekend. Searches for weekend wedding venue have risen by 50% in the last years. Couples seek to make even more of a celebration out of their wedding. Couples are looking for wedding venues that can host them for 3 days in a row to really make the most out of their wedding. We have a local wedding venue here in the Columbia, South Carolina market that just opened up recently. It's in Prosperity, South Carolina, and beautiful venue. It's called the Gin 391, and that's kind of something that they're looking towards, is kind of making it more of a weekend rental. And I think that's a very interesting, concept. And I think the reason you see that is, it kind of will make you feel more like home. You've got your rehearsal the night before. You've got, welcome dinners the night before. Of course, you've got your wedding day. And then the day after, you've got like, a brunch, things like that. So you can make an entire weekend out of it. And when you think of it, we kind of do that already, but kind of do it in pieces. We have the rehearsal somewhere, sometimes it's at the location, sometimes it's somewhere else. We kind of have a dinner that evening, somewhere. We have our full wedding day at the venue. And then again, like I was talking about, we have a brunch or a lunch or something, the next day to kind of, thank everyone, kind of, reminisce about the wedding itself, reminisce about, seeing all these people, family, friends that you haven't seen in a while, out of town guests. We're kind of doing all this already. And so, by having a venue that kind of serves as the location for all of it is really, I think, a pretty interesting, concept. So I definitely think you're going to start to see more venues kind of offer this wedding weekend extravaganza. All right, let's move into number 4, which is wedding veils. The return of the wedding veil is a key wedding trend for 2024. Once seen as a bit dated, they are back with a bang. Over 8,000 monthly searches for wedding veil taking place. That's up 23% from last year. One driving factor of this is many celebrities having recently sported dramatic veils, kind of creating that demand for couples who want to replicate their looks. Brides are seemingly opting for an even more dramatic, veil lengths too, taking inspiration from the likes of Kourtney Kardashian, Hailey Bieber, Olivia Atwood, and many others for their incredible floor-sweeping lace veils. So, it also makes great for wedding photography as well as for wedding videography as well, with those beautiful floor sweeping lace veils. So, personally, I love a veil. I can tell you, being a videographer myself, it creates some very romantic shots with veils. You can have that veil kind of flipped over both, your bride and your groom or your couple, and, with some, touching nose to nose, head to head, beautiful kiss, and you shoot through the veil. It's just remarkable shots that you can make. Also, again, just the traditional drop the veil kind of shot, blowing in the wind, those kind of shots. They add so much, to a wedding. So definitely a trend I see on the uprise there is the wedding veil. All right, let's move into number 5, retro wedding style. Retro weddings are the future. The interest in 70s weddings, 60s has grown almost a third, 29% increase in searches in the past year for retro wedding style. Couples can't seem to get enough of the cool 60s and 70s inspired style. Again, the traffic is just really bumped up on searches there. I think it's becoming a little bit more popular because people are discovering the golden age of Hollywood due to lots of exposure in mainstream TV and film. That you're seeing Netflix, things like that. Kind of, you're seeing more of these different films and shows that you might have not seen before. Kind of cultural references to the next generation are now being introduced to this style, and it's so classical and beautiful. And timeless, So I personally love the retro style. You see all that, at weddings, anything from, bringing back Polaroid cameras that can shoot black and white, to attire, breaking out those boogie dancing shoes from the 70s. You can have your traditional wedding attire for the ceremony, but, we're starting to see, second wedding dresses and things like that are happening, for the reception. I've even seen 3 dresses, from the ceremony to the reception to another kind of a send-off kind of dress. So you can kind of add all these, retro styles, into those attires. It'd be cool to break out the John Travolta kind of staying alive vibe during the reception. So many things that you can do. So and also you can incorporate some golden age music into your reception. So yeah, lots of ways to kick in the 60s and 70s and things in your wedding. So definitely a trend on the rise. All right, number 6, wedding saxophonists. So it's been creeping wedding trend for some time now, but it's really hitting mainstream in 2024 as a trend. We've seen the searches up 143% over last year for a saxophonist for your wedding. And, these kind of unusual wedding entertainment ideas to create an unforgettable experience for your guests. Music is very incredibly powerful to create unforgettable moments, especially when it comes to weddings. And, saxophonists and other things, I've seen bagpipes recently, of course, string quartets, all those kind of things. Just allow for a different wedding style. It allows for, a touch of class, emotion, versatility, just takes a wedding to a whole new level as they create an atmosphere that's, just very intimate and full of celebration. So I definitely think you're going to continue to see, moving away from the playing of wedding ceremony music, from a DJ or something like that, kind of moving more into a direction where you actually have some live kind of, entertainment for that. So definitely a trend that you're going to see on the rise. Number 7, we have wedding rentals. So, we kind of, with the age of Amazon, we've seen the availability to buy things, cheaper and, just, hit the button on Amazon and it comes to your door, sometimes the same day or the next day. But in this age now of inflation and things like that, it's kind of getting expensive to buy things, obviously, and you can save money and be more eco-friendly by renting things, especially things that you're not going to use again. Even wedding dresses. We have seen a volume search up 50% since last year to rent a wedding dress. Because it's more affordable than spending thousands of dollars on a wedding dress. You're going to wear one time. You're probably going to throw it in the closet afterwards, so why not rent it, right? So there are websites out there that rent wedding dresses, especially like I was talking about, if you got a second or a third reception dress that you want to wear, what a great idea to rent those to save some money. So, same thing with decor. It's more convenient. You don't have to worry about storing it. You don't have to worry about, trying to sell it afterwards, all those kind of headaches. And if you can do it on a budget and save some money, definitely worth it. I used to own a rental wedding company, and I can tell you many times brides would want to buy table linens instead of rent them. You just get a better selection when you rent them, all the kind of colors and fabrics and designs and things like that. You don't have to worry about ironing them. You don't have to worry about buying it, storing it. You don't have to worry about, if it gets stained afterwards and then you throw it away and you've lost your money. No, if you rent it, you can just, pay the rental, turn it back in, and you don't have to worry about it again. You don't have to worry about trying to sell it and all those kind of things. So definitely, I think you're going to see with inflation and things like that more people are going to look to rent things, if it's, more budget conscious than actually buying something. All right, moving into number 8, wedding tech. Weddings are getting more technical, from AI to smart rings. Yes, I said a smart ring. So most of us have a smartwatch, have an Apple Watch or, something similar to that. But I'm talking about smart rings. Rings that, a wedding ring that actually tracks your health, your sleep, your steps. The search demand for smart wedding rings has doubled in volume over the last year, with people looking for wedding rings that can do more for them. As a wearable tech, just becomes more advanced and more commonplace. You're definitely going to see those. So yeah, check out smart rings. Check it out on Google. And going back to AI, we're seeing a trend of couples, using AI to help them with their wedding planning. Chat GPT, things like that. It's actually, I get asked all the time on these social media groups, wedding chats that I'm in about, asking for a wedding hashtag. The easiest way, guys, to do that, go to Chat GPT, type in, give me a wedding hashtag for Cirillo / whatever last name hashtag, and it'll give you 10 right off the bat. And you can keep, working on that search and define that search a little bit better if you're looking for more names and information. But yeah, AI is becoming more of a trend in wedding planning. Of course, guys, I'm going to say be careful out there because you just never know what's being stored and everything with AI. But yeah, technology definitely continues to be a trend for 2024. All right, our number 9 is saving money. It's no surprise, again, budget weddings being searched up 306%. Couples typing that into Google every month. And as things get more expensive, we got to get more creative with our wedding budget. Looking for deals, looking ways to save money will be a key part of 2024 wedding planning. The average wedding cost in the U.S. is right around $29,000 in 2023, with many places in the United States and beyond being way higher than that. So, it's definitely you're definitely gonna need to look for ways to save money. With the rising costs. I see, in social media groups for budget weddings, just trying to save on everything. In some ways that you can do that, from backyard weddings, choosing some different food options to a smaller wedding party, a smaller guest count. There's lots of ways that you can, do things to save money. And I know you might not believe it, but actually hiring a wedding planner can save you money. Although you might spend some money on the planner, they can help you, with the vendors, that they know they're going to know what your budget is. They're going to know, which vendors that they recommend that are good, that will fit in your budget, that kind of thing. So, definitely always look to hire a wedding planner. So guys, I hope that you have enjoyed this episode, to talk about the wedding trends that are going to happen in 2024 and beyond. Again, we do a lot of research, to bring you this information to help you, plan your dream wedding. And so I hope you got some value out of this episode today. Let us know, did you get some value? Give us a comment on social media. Let us know which trends of 2024 that I just talked about that you can plan to incorporate at your wedding. You can also shoot us an email. It's callingallbridespodcast@gmail.com. You can visit our website. Of course, continue to listen to us on all the podcast platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, all those platforms. You can go to our website, callingallbridespodcast.com. You can listen to our episodes there as well. Guys, we give you a lot of ways to interact with us. So that way we can continue to bring you, the content that you're looking for that's going to help you as you continue to plan your wedding. So it is the Calling All Brides podcast. I am Joe Cirillo, and we'll be with you again soon. Hope you have a fabulous day, and chat with you soon. Take care. Great episodes coming up, and we've got a whole lot more, so make sure you stay tuned to the Calling All Brides podcast.